So here is what you will see for our website for Canvas in our biology class. It will have the agenda for the week. So we've got 2 classes this week. And so today we're looking at introducing the class. I'll introduce myself. And as I mentioned, you're going to also introduce yourself right down here with number 5. You're going to put together one slide in our entire class file. It's called Block 5 About Me. So before we get to that though, I'm going to just talk a little bit about our Canvas organization here, setting up your notifications properly, and then we'll quickly go over the course syllabus. You can see on the right hand side that there's another simple assignment, and that is to acknowledge that you have read and understand the course syllabus. It's got the grading categories in there, and it generally talks about how the class is run. So it's really kind of like a contract between the school and you and your parents. So in the acknowledgement form, it does ask for your parents to also acknowledge that. So I'll show you what that looks like here in a bit. So let's start with the notifications. The circle in the top left-hand corner is where you can get the notifications under your account. And then you click on notifications. And you can see your notifications, right? I just have to leave the student view in order to show you what mine looks like. But I think you can click into your notifications, can't you? Nod of the head, somebody? Yeah? Can you get at notifications? So it looks like this? Yes? No? Some confusion? Yeah, okay, good. So to get there, I clicked on account. And again, I'm on the web. If you're in the app, I still think there's a circle that you click. Click on account, and then it is notifications. And then you can see that it can have emails or push notifications. If you're the one that kind of likes to have things pop up like on your phone, pop up on your iPad, you know, as banners and stuff, you can set up push notifications. If you have Canvas on your phone, other devices, a computer, it will push it out to all your devices. Sometimes that's a bit much. I'm sure with a phone and other devices, you realize, yeah, I want this, I don't want that. Here's where we do it in Canvas. What I think you should have for notifications are announcements. So notice how I've toggled the email notification for announcements. If I need to get a hold of you, it's my way of sending everyone a message. So occasionally, after an assignment is started, people have the same question, and maybe I didn't do a good job of explaining something, and so I'll give more details that I want you to have right away. If I wait for you to click back into the assignment, you might not even get there and realize, oh, I got more help. So if I create an assignment, an announcement, I'll show you where it's shown on Canvas, but if you click email, it will email anything that I set up as announcements. That's really helpful to have. It's a good idea to also turn on notifications for grades. So after I grade something, you can see how you did and realize that it's been graded and take a look at it. If you're early in turning in assignments before the due date, and usually it's something is due 2 days at least, maybe even like 5 days out. Some people do it early. And if I want to see how people are responding to the assignment, I might click in and look at those early submissions, and I might grade it before it's due. And then I might say, hey, you did a good job, but you missed this. Why don't you redo it and turn it in by the due date? So it gives you a chance to get some of your assignments graded early and see how you do. And especially early on in the semester, I'll give you the option of correcting some of the mistakes you make with no penalty, and then you can turn it in again. So knowing that assignments are graded for your classes is really great. Even last year, I had a few students that said, why did I get 10 out of 20 on this assignment? And we're in the second semester. I said, did you see the grade comments? He goes, grade comments? Where do I see the grade comments? Well, I'll go over it with you right now. It's like in the announcement. We went over it in class. It's really important that you take a look and open up your assignments. You turn them in electronically. Teachers grade it electronically. I put the grade comments on the file. So you have to click into it in order to see it. So knowing that it's been graded, it's that email check mark. If you want a push notification, you can. So you can kind of hover over these and see what they are. I only want a few things because I don't want to have too many notifications or emails sent to me. Last year we had office hour online, so I built in office hour time slots. People signed up for them, so they were realizing that they could sign up for certain things. We have office hour built into the school day, which is great. So as freshmen, you're required to go to an academic class during office hours, and we'll have 1 or 2 a week. And you can go to any class where you would like to have extra help. So I wanted to show you what that looked like for the notifications. You can go in there anytime and kind of tweak it if you're realizing, hey, I'm not getting this notification or that. I'm going to click into course content right now, right here on this button. You can do the same or follow along right here. I'll give you a little introduction about myself. It's easy to get in touch with me. Try to do so during class. If we're not in class, tomorrow I don't see you. If you needed to get a hold of me, why not just stop in and talk in person? That's the best. If you need to, the second best is to send emails to your teachers. Every Canvas page will have the teacher's email, but then so does Mater Dei's website. So we have a slightly different email than you guys do. It's just our first initial and our last name at materdei.org. You guys are at stu.materdei.org, and you also have your graduation year in your email address. And I also have this phone number. It will not ring that phone, but it saves your voicemail, goes into my email. So that works too, and then I can respond if you wanted to do like a voice message right there. And I have office hours built in during the day like we all do. But if that doesn't work for you, don't think that's the only time. You can get in touch with your teachers on other times by appointment. Just reach out to them and say, hey, I'm really busy with my sport, but I really want to talk to you about this. How about Thursday after school? And it could even be during our online. We have something called Microsoft Teams that you'll hear more about later. I'm sure you know what Zoom is. It's our new form of Zoom for our classes. And if we had to meet online, that's where we would be. So we're expecting that we're going to be in class the whole school year. It's great to be back at school with the entire class in one room. Last year, we had split up the school in morning school and afternoon school. And we only had half the students on campus at one time. And we had very few activities and sports. This year, everything is running, and so that's great. Little bit of background about myself. I grew up in the Midwest in Minnesota. We had a cabin in Wisconsin, and I went to school in St. Paul, Minnesota at the University of St. Thomas, got a biology degree, my teaching credential there. And I knew in college that I wanted to be a teacher, which I did for a short time, then got involved with a lot of family businesses in real estate and insurance and things like that. But after about 10, 12 years, I decided to go back into teaching and have been doing so ever since my 24th year in the diocese and my 19th year here at school. So I didn't think I was going to be here that long. I started when my kids were in high school, and they were actually in my class too. That was a lot of fun. So I thought I'd be here just for a little while. But as you're going to hear, Mater Dei's kind of like family. It's like once a monarch, always a monarch. It's really a great place to work. We have a lot of people that have been here for a long time. We had another science teacher here who was in our department for 45 years, Bruce Rawlinson. He's probably in his 40s as well. How many years? And Helen Steves just finished 50 years with the diocese. So there's a lot of people that have been part of the Mater Dei family for quite a while. I love nature. There's a lot to do in the Midwest. I was kind of like Huckleberry Finn during the summer, barefoot from the moment that school got out in May until school used to start in September. And we were at our summer cabin, water skiing, floating down rivers, and really enjoying the outdoors. So that's kind of where I piqued my interest into biology. Just curious about how things are. Good teachers, good experience in high school and in college. But decided to move out to California after graduating because I've got some family out here as well. And there's a lot of water when you're near the ocean. So I've been involved in quite a few interesting things, like the capstone over at Notre Dame for science and religion. The two go hand in hand. Some people still think, like they did in the old days, that it's you believe in God or you believe in like nature and evolution. But the church's teaching is that God created nature and the laws of nature, and things work within that framework. So we'll talk about ethical issues, the church stance on many things that we talk about as we dive deep into the cell. I'm also teaching forensics this year. I've been doing that for 10 years, and it's a fun class for upperclassmen. It's a career technical class. We have a lot of guest speakers, and we go over many areas of science with that. So maybe it's something you'll look into later. And I'm part of the FBI Citizens Academy, and I try to get involved with a lot of things here at school. I've been the department chair for 8 years. A while back, I've taught many different classes. I've been a coach with girls and boys JV golf, and I still like to be active outdoors. So you can see a couple pictures there with my wife Carolyn and our only kid at the house. That's my 13-year-old dachshund. I do have 2 grown sons. One lives here in Irvine. The other one is up in Montana. I've got family still in the Midwest and several other states as well. I've got a twin brother who lives in Denver, so I like to get out there too and see him. So that's a little bit about myself, and you'll see that I have created the first slide in the About Me presentation that you guys are going to do, and so we'll get to that after the syllabus. So if you're following along, we're now at the course information, which you can find right from the home page. So if you want to click into it and see that as well, it's right there. Since you guys ran through that 10-minute class the other day, I played this short little presentation about the different themes of our class. So I'm not going to play that again, but it's right there if you wanted to see it. And the central themes that we're going to be talking about, it's at the cellular level, so we're going to study a lot about that. I even talked a little bit about DNA and RNA in that 10-minute introduction on Monday. So we are going to get to really understanding the code that is in these molecules. We're going to talk about the mitochondria and the chloroplast, how cells obtain and use energy. We will touch upon the various levels of organization of living things. Now we're talking plants, animals, and viruses and bacteria. They all have the same basis of life. And then we're also going to spend time talking about ecology, how animals and plants are interacting in the environment. So they have to do well in competition with others, but they also have to do well inside of themselves, creating a stable internal environment. You can sense when you don't have enough water throughout the day or not enough sleep and you get out of balance. So being in balance is called homeostasis, and there's a lot of ways that our body works to maintain that for us. Isn't it amazing that if your temperature is off by 2 degrees, you can really sense that you're not feeling good, right? Our normal body temperature is almost 99 degrees, 98.6. If you have a temperature of 99 or 100, you feel pretty miserable. We're a walking chemistry set, and if you don't have the right pH, the right water balance, and the right salts, then things just don't work very well. So we'll be talking about how the cell controls that, especially the cell membrane. Going into more detail about that, though, would be the next class, Anatomy and Physiology, that you might take. So those are the general themes, and we'll touch upon all of those. It's a fun class. It's really like a user manual. And you'll think back to this class later on as well and go, yeah, I remember hearing about that. We studied a little bit about that. And my screen just kind of went a little, oh, it's trying to play something in the background. Oh, there it is. All right, didn't mean to hit that. So I'm trying to open up the syllabus right now, so I'll go back over here to course information, click into that file. So as I mentioned over in the right-hand corner in the to-do list, you're going to acknowledge that you understand all of this. I'm going to skim through part of it because it would be a little bit too much for me to just go over every paragraph. But that's your homework, is to look this over and understand that the main focus of this class is for you to really learn a lot about yourself, how things work. Yeah.
Where's the syllabus?
It's underneath course information, right at the top of that. It's also in the acknowledge assignment. So these are called ISOs. These are student outcomes. At the point of graduation, you should have hit all these. So this year, we have undergone a new round of accreditation. Every school across America, even private schools like us, have to be certified to be a school. And we have to do it 2 ways, for our course content and for being a Catholic school. So we have our visitation coming in the springtime, and you'll hear more about it. But we've redone the expected student outcomes, and they're posted in every classroom as a poster. It's over there, and I summarized it right here. So here at Mater Dei, you're going to develop intellectually, spiritually, and socially. And so our class is going to touch upon a lot of these So this is what we want you to graduate with. Not a brain full of facts. It's this, that you're a lifelong learner, that you have an appreciation for learning and how to teach yourself things. Those are what's important here when you graduate. There is a required textbook, but we're having you hold off on purchasing the textbook in case students switch classes. You can't get a refund on your purchases. So it does say, I think I put it right here, yeah. Don't worry about this until like 2 weeks from now, near the end of August. I'll let you know when the bookstore opens that up. So that's the bell for the next lunch. And you can see that we go to 1:15, so we have 45 minutes. And so the textbook is great. It integrates inside of our Canvas, and it's also going to be accessible on an app, and we'll use it a lot. It's got a lot of extra learning tools built into it, flashcards, test preparation questions. It's got some embedded labs in there. So it's a great electronic textbook. This book is available as a hard copy book, but the electronic version is better because it's 4 times less expensive than the physical book, and it has all this online stuff. So that's coming. And then other than that, you have to have your iPad ready. So charge up your iPads every day. I think these have probably pretty good battery life, right? The old iPads didn't seem to really hold a charge all day long. And if you forget your iPad, the bookstore, not the bookstore, but the library has some loaners for you to go over there and say, hey, I forgot my iPad, can I get a loaner? And they'll have a certain number of those. Now here's the important thing. Right here you can see the way you're going to be graded in this class is in 4 buckets. It's called grading categories, 2 of which are more important than the other 2. So focus in on doing well on these 2. On labs and projects, that's 35% of your grade. We don't have any tests in this class. Yay! But we do have quizzes. They're really short, and they're only 25 points, and sometimes not even 25 questions. So we will have about 8 or 10 quizzes, and you get to drop the lowest of your quiz score. And I'll also give you extra credit, and the extra credit goes into your assessments. So you get like 2 free helps inside of a category that you might consider to be the most difficult. But there's no big test, no unit test. They're just going to be like 2 weeks or so of material at a time. We do have one encompassing semester exam. So in December, when our semester ends, then we will have a big test, but it's only worth 15% of your grade. You don't have experience yet, but you can earn your grade in this class probably by November. If you are doing well, like for the first 3 months or so, you will have solidified your grade. So if you have a good A, you'll keep up those habits and things are going to be easy for you. If you don't turn in your homework on time, if you just turn in work that you know isn't your best, then it's going to erode your grade. So just stay on top of your assignments and just do the best you can. And if you think assessments are scary, they're not going to be if you've aced your labs and your homework. And then things get pretty easy. Plus we have office hour and you can get all the help that you want. Aries is our official grade book. But Canvas also has a grade book inside of it because you're turning in work at Canvas, I'm grading it in Canvas, and so you see your grades in Canvas, but then I have to hit a button and move your grades from Canvas over to Aries. So don't be alarmed if Aries doesn't look like it's as up-to-date as Canvas, but Aries is your official gradebook. There shouldn't be any typos. Some teachers, even this year, are going to manually type the grade from Canvas over to Aries, but I hit a button and it just transfers it over there. So there shouldn't be any problem, but keep your eye on it that the two look the same when I tell you that everything is graded in Canvas and has been moved over. The student handbook says you have 2 weeks to kind of check things for accuracy. You don't want to let everything slide and then worry about your grade book in December. So just stay on top of it. Check Aries at least once a week and just know where you stand with your grades. Right here, this is important. There's a 10% late penalty if you turn in work. If it was worth 10 points to turn it in and you're 1 day late, if you get it all right, you've earned 9 points. So there's 10% deduction every day you're late, and that's a calendar day. So if it was due Friday and you turn it in on Monday, that's 30% off. Canvas automatically keeps track of this, so stay on top of your due dates. And Canvas makes it sort of easy. But a lot of students will keep a paper kind of to-do list. They used to require it at the bookstore. It was as a daily planner. Maybe you had it in elementary school, junior high, and you would write your assignments down, and then you'd have it written down on paper. Hey, if that works for you, keep doing that. But there is a to-do list in Canvas, and so that should be okay, but a lot of students find that it keeps them on track if they have it written down on paper too. Just a few words about academic honesty. You're expected to do your own work. You and I know that it's really easy to copy from someone electronically. Hey, I didn't have a chance to do my work. I just forgot. Another time, I was really busy with my sport. Hey, did you do the homework? Could I have a copy of it? I'll do it. You're doing it this time. I'll do it next time. Let's just switch off so we're doing half of the work. That's plagiarism. You don't want to be on the giving or the receiving end of that. If somebody asks you, hey, can you give me your file? Can you help me with the homework? Say, yeah, what do you need help with? You don't understand this question or that question? Yeah, great, I'll help you, but I can't give you my file. Because if you do, you're as guilty as the person who's receiving it. So both people will get zeros on that assignment. And I'll work with you to try to help you understand the seriousness of this. If it goes on, then you're sent to the dean, and then your parents are called in. You have disciplinary actions against you. If you do something like that in college, they'll probably kick you out after one time. So no one assignment, no test, no class is so important that you have to cheat in it. Just do the best that you can do. You're going to have times where you're busy with this and that, and you're not on your A game. But if you're usually on your A game and you have a C day, that's okay. It's not going to matter. And don't worry too much about it, because all of the assignments that I've done in high school doesn't matter at all anymore. But what does matter is your honesty and integrity. If you're caught cheating, that stays with you for the rest of your life, and it's a burden that you have to carry. So just be honest with yourself. And if you need help, ask for it from me. We even have student tutors during office hours, so you'll hear more about that program later. If you learn better with a student helping you, that is a program that we have. We also have after-school tutoring and a lot of different ways of getting help. In some years, My students have even formed a study group, and they would meet over at the Learning Center, like over in the section of the library, and they would get together and be study partners before a quiz. So we could do that during office hour too. I run tutoring quiz preparation in class and during tutors office hours. A lot of what you see in the classes for class rules is just what's in the student handbook, so there's some information about that. Attendance is required even if we happen to go to online learning like in the past. So we would be set up through Microsoft Teams. So there are online learning expectations. Hey, a word about being tardy. You are tardy if you come in after the bell, but if you're tardy one time, it's no big deal. You actually get like 8 tardies before it becomes like a disciplinary thing with the deans. Then you might have to serve a detention, but you are given a few before. It's no big deal, but you don't want to be in a habit of waiting to the last second to go running into your classes. So try to be in your seat when the bell rings. Classroom behavior expectations are really quite simple. They're listed right there, and you just want to be respectful of the learning experience here and other people. The lines of communication are clear that if you have a question about your classes, go see your teachers first. We also have department chairs that can get involved with issues. I know how that works. I've been the department chair for 8 years. In the past. And then we also have the principal and president and on up the line all the way to the diocese headquarters. So right here is one place for you to click this. Over at Canvas, it says there's nothing to turn in here. Even though it looks like an assignment where you're going to turn something in, it's just a link to this form. So you can complete the acknowledgement right here inside of the syllabus or at the assignment itself. So if I click right here, it opens up a Google form, and you're just going to fill in this information right here. It's quite simple. But it says that you have read and understand everything in the syllabus. I skipped through some part of it, so take a moment to look it over, and then when you're done, you click, yeah, I really understand it, and you're going to type your name right there at the bottom. And look, there's a place for your parent to sign. Remember the days when you would hand them a piece of paper and they would sign it? Sometimes you would just put this, all right, this is for this class, this is for that class, and they're signing it. So make sure you have a quick conversation with them and just say, hey, my biology class looks like it's going to be easy. I'm going to really do well. And we're graded in categories, 35% labs, 35% quizzes. There's no tests, yay. And then we have homework 15% and one final exam, which I've been told I can even earn my grade before the final exam, so it doesn't even matter what I do on the final. And we're going to learn a lot about living things from the cellular level to the environment and ecology. All right, cool. And you could type their name in there for them. But don't do that without having a quick conversation with them. And hit submit, and you're done. Any questions about the syllabus? So a couple more things. If you click into modules, there's 2 places to do that. Right here, this module button will take us to our current module, which is the introductory chapter. And then later, if you want to see, like studying for the final exam, if you want to see all the modules, this will get you there, but it starts with the current one. This will show all the modules in another order. So it's the same thing. So clicking into modules, we're in this unit of introduction. So we've gone over the teacher information, course information, talked about the biology textbook. We're on hold for that right now. And assigning the course syllabus, there it is. We'll talk a little bit more later about submitting work and checking grade comments. So you can take a look at that now if you'd like. The ones that have a pencil next to it, these are actual homework turn-ins. So if you clicked into the syllabus, you don't have to click on that. You only have to do it once. So there's assigning the course syllabus. You could fill in the form right there or click it up there. You only have to do it once. There's nothing else to turn in at Canvas for the syllabus. And now let's talk about the About Me Google slide. And I'll give you time to work on this. If you'd like to watch a video on how to do this more specifically, you can watch that on your own. I'm just going to open up the Google slide and show you what to do. But if you want to see it again, there's a video I recorded last year. You are introducing yourself to the class with one slide. So these are the requirements, 1 through 5. You're going to choose a blank file and claim it as your own. Just type your name on it, and then that's your slide, and you're going to customize it. So you're going to personalize it with something about yourself. Maybe it is the sport that you play here. Maybe it's all the cool trips that you've taken, your hobby, your goals. Maybe it's some skill you have. And you have to have at least one picture of yourself that shows your face. It can't be just your ear, so it kind of needs to be nice, where you don't have a hood on and glasses and a mask. So all we see is just a little bit of an eyebrow. So, want to see your face. So do that without a mask on. And you can change everything about the slide. The background colors, I'll show you what I did as an example. But be careful that you don't change the theme, because we're all in one slideshow. If you change the theme, it's going to change it for everyone. So if you find you did that, just hit undo and just modify your own slide. So you guys are block 5, so you would click right here, block 5, About Me Slides. The directions are at the top once again, and some of you guys have already clicked into it. So here's my slide. For an example, so I've got my name there, several pictures. Got my interests right here. I like to travel. I think I've been to 45 states. I don't know if I've really missed that many. I've been to many different countries. And not last summer, but the summer before, I went to Zion and Bryce Canyon for the first time and thought it was cool. I really like Yosemite, and I've been to a lot of the national parks. There's a picture of my wife and dog again. I took a DNA seminar over at Fullerton College so that I could use their equipment. So we're going to have some pretty cool experiments with the college's help. And my twin, who's all masked up too. So in some years, when my brother's in town, he comes to visit me, and he'll start the class, and then I'll walk in another door, and people are like, "What? I didn't know it was." So it's pretty funny. We've had a good time tricking people. So we look enough alike still that you can't tell us apart too well. So I can see that some of you guys have already clicked into it. So to customize it, notice that I have kind of a blue background, but it does have gradient to it. So I'll click onto my slide, and then you click on the word slide, and then you can change the background. I can change the color right there. I can put an image on the entire background. But don't do anything that involves themes. So you wouldn't want to. So just stay over here on the slide and change the background. So find some pictures of yourself. Right now, if you're not really knowing what to do, go ahead and maybe practice changing the color of the background. Lay in some. You could insert a text box. You could insert a shape. Just kind of get used to the Google slide. You're not going to stand up here and present your slide, but I am going to click through everybody's slide. And we'll do that on, do we meet on Tuesday, huh? So make it something that you would like to have everybody see. And we will have this accessible throughout the school year. So if somebody wants to say, who was that person that was in this sport? You know, so after this week, I'll turn off editing, so it's just set as a view only, and it will be available through our assignment right here throughout the school year as a way of getting to know each other. So you've got 15 minutes left in class, or actually 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So I'm going to let you just have the rest of the class. If you want to talk to your neighbor, work on this, take a look at the syllabus, take a look around Canvas, and then if you have any questions about things, then let me know, and you can eat now.